Good morning and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. I've just missed magical Michael Derbyshire next door, and I think I just missed Joe as well. He came on 5 minutes after they went, which is disappointing. Only got down here about 10 o'clock this morning, had a lie-in. There's been shenanigans at our house, so we had to sort that out. Anyway, I'm in the brassica cage. And there are interlopers, and I've been for quite some time in the brassica cage in the form of potatoes. So I'm going to get them outside because it's going to get a bit clustered in here, a bit overplanted. I'll show you what I mean. It's like a jungle. So we're a victim of our own success with these brassicas by the look of it. And also the state of these here. These are potatoes, new potatoes in the Tesco cut flower buckets. And it's completely blocked the path. I can't get to that side, and it's the same here. I did take a few of them out last week. It's not that funny. Seagulls. And I'm going to take the rest of them out, and I'm going to put them between, well, next door to the big brothers in the big potato bed there. I'm going to put them sort of as a lean-to against that pea cage that I've got. So I'm going to crack on with that now. Now that's the pathway. Now it's been cleared of potato plants, and it's not much different now, is it? Look at that. Rampant growth, ladies and gentlemen. And these are the purple sprouting broccoli on this side. And they're a bit early, to be honest. In fact, they're pretty early, them coming through. They just started to come through now, the purple sprouting. Whereas this is your standard Calabrese, as you can see. This is a fantastic condition. So I'm going to have to get my snippers out, I think, and start cutting some of these heads. And you'll get side shoots then coming off from the middle, because the leaf quality on these plants is tremendous. Apart from that one, that's got a bit of a Mockley effect on it for some reason, but all the rest of it is like the best I've seen, to be honest. The quality of the leaf is unparalleled. And it's the same with all of our brassicas in here. It's just fantastic. Lush green condition, all of it. These are all cauliflowers in here, this bit. You got two different types of cauliflower in here, and again they're in stunning condition, if I do say so myself. And the kale, look at the kale, there's not a mark on it. There's no browning off at all or yellowing off at all on. It's really, really good condition, that. I'm well impressed. These cabbages. Oh yes, let's get these heads off with their heads. There's the broccoli. I cut a big leaf off just to lie it on while I displayed it there. But every bit of that broccoli plant you can eat. Yeah, so you've got the florets, you've got the leaf, the stem. The whole shebang can be eaten. It's nice, that. And because I've not cut it all off low down, you can leave the leaf and the stems, these side shoot stems, to come on a little bit more, and then we'll harvest them as we go. If you look at that one there, there's plenty of side shoots still on it. They'll fatten up as well. But as we work through this, we'll probably get about 6 or 7 different harvests out of this area, which is good. No herbicides, pesticides or insecticides have been anywhere near that, just chicken poo. Our soil and God's rain has done the job, as the good Lord intended. So we like to keep it au natural. So no artificial herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, nothing chemical is going on to the crops at all. Okay. Therefore, hopefully healthier for you. Now, speaking of potatoes, we're getting flowers on them, which I'm surprised about, because they haven't been in that long. I don't think they've been in all that long. Let's have a look when they were started. Saxon. And no date. Not a complete fool. But I think it's about 8 weeks ago when they were put in. Mid-April. And now it's mid-June. It was our Bradley's birthday on Friday. Friday the 14th. He had a right good time. Well, yesterday he did. We went to Ninja Warrior with a couple of his mates. And they went wild. Anyway, that's an aside, isn't it? He had a good time anyway. But yeah, so they're outside and they're getting flowers on. It won't be long now for these. I'll say another 3 or 4 weeks, which is okay because they're outside now. When they're inside there, they're all clustered together like these are. And so they tend to support each other when the winds come. You can see the wind blowing through. But these now, because they're outside and they're kind of unsupported on the front, the stems are a bit leggy. So what will happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks is they'll get blown over by the winds then. But hopefully it'll just land right for harvest time, and it won't disrupt the crop too much. I'm going to leave the stems on, you know, but they will get blown flat, if you like, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, unless we get good, really clement weather, which is just a gentle breeze and plenty of sun and rain, which you can always hope for and keep your fingers crossed for. But you know, plan for the worst, hope for the best. Our broad beans are getting attacked by something. Look at all those holes in them. That's some little thrip of some description. I don't know what, because I've not seen them, but they do devastate. There might be a night feeder coming out attacking, but it's certainly having an effect, I think, on my my butter beans, which is depressing because I really like butter beans. I should have done a lot more of them, but we didn't have enough. We didn't save enough seeds from last year. We had them all. Peas are coming through now on this side. There's some spurs I'm going to try and plant down that bottom end. Some spur ones in the cells there, which I'm going to decide upon. Maybe get some more framing up at the bottom end there. More climbing frames for them. But you can see they're all starting to move up there now. Again, everything was late this year, so it's not as far along as I wanted it to be, really. That's my own fault for being a lazy git. I mean, I can blame the weather. It did nothing but rain up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's still off and on now. We had a really crap start, really, to the season, but you just got to crack on. Now, this is an allium bed this year. And we planted these onions in this year, April this year. They went in as the sets, you know, the already started onions. They went in. We didn't do them from seed, I'll be honest with you. But up until this point, our onions that we planted over winter in November, Japanese Senshu onions, we planted in this section. And there's about 24, something like that, of them. Some of them have split down, if you see there, and doubled up. You get a twicer with them, but smaller onions. But they're getting ready because they're starting to fall over now. When they start falling over like this, they're getting ready. And of course you get the scapes, and we cut the scapes off them over the last couple of weeks. And the same with the garlic. So we've got the Casablanca white garlic, which I planted much more of in here. And to be honest with you, these are ready. These are ready to take. I might leave a couple of the smaller ones in for a little bit longer. But these big fat ones, they're not going to get any bigger and fatter, I don't think. So I'm going to take those out and get them hung up. And we'll do the same with the garlic. Let's crack on. So let's start at the garlic side. I'm hoping you can tell I've been a lot more proactive with the weeding this year. My back will testify for that, boys and girls. My lower spine. But I've been trying to keep on top of the weeding. What you tend to do is you need to loosen them up a bit around the base, because the roots get stuck in. Loosen them up a little bit, maybe a little bit more, prior to lifting. Like that. And there's your bulb of garlic underneath. And we'll just brush that off. And happy days. But then they've got to be hung up then, which I'll show you in a minute. But we'll take them all out like that. Let them dry out for a little bit in the sun. And then we'll get rid of all that muck off the roots and get them hung up. Okay. I'm just going to leave them there separated so that there's enough between them to sort of dry out over the next few days in here in this polytunnel up at the top. Cheeky tunnel number 2, the Lady Farmer's Cheeky Tunnel. It's got to be drying out in there. That's about half of them, but I've kind of run out of time because I've got to go and run some errands. But yeah, so leave them in there for 2 or 3 days, and then what I'll do is I'll trim off the excess, so we've got about 16 inches worth of stem. Brush all the rest of the soil off from around the roots and remove the roots, and then they're going to be hung in here. This is the thing that I always smash my head open on. This cage. They'll be hung like that. Of course, without the dirt on the bum. Clean them up a bit. And leave them in here now for a couple of weeks just to completely cure off. You have to cure them. Same with the onions, you have to cure the onions. And when all the stem and everything goes brown and brittle, like that one is, that little strand is, when it all goes like that, then they're ready then for storage. You can do plaits with them and all kinds of things like that, but we just tend to tie them up with about 5 together with a string them up, or even plait them. Might have a go at that this year. Same with the onions. And then you can just pick them off, store them in like a cool, dry place, dark, cool, dry place, and you can just keep picking them off as you need them, and they'll last for months. I'm just going to water up these tomatoes and cucumbers, and then I think that's us, that's me, because I've got to go and get some party food for the party that we're having with the family for Bradley's birthday this afternoon. Right, so let's crack on. Yeah, so the tomatoes are getting watered up now 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and on Sundays, and on the Sunday as well. I haven't done it this week because I did it actually on Thursday this week. I've added some feedings for the comfrey feeding, and for that you do, these are 10 litre watering cans. So 9 litres of that is just water, and then there's a litre then of the comfrey feed that goes in, and it takes 4 of these to feed everything in here. So you're basically using 4 litres of the comfrey feed, the liquid feed, in with 40 litres, well, 36 litres of water and 4 litres of comfrey feed basically to get poured in. That's once a week. We'll do that, and hopefully then the leaf and the structure of the plant will be nourished, and then feed then the flowers, the fruits, and we'll get a healthy crop. That is, fingers crossed, the plan. But I'm going to tip them out when they get to the top here, nip off the flowering tips when they get to the top, the shoots, the growing tips, when they get to the top of this. I'm going to let it bush out a little bit, but keep on top of those side shoots that come off. These little side shoots that grow in the elbows, like these. Just keep on top of them, because that draws energy away from the plant, that. And it loses its vertical aspect and bushes out. Start trimming off, or trimming back some of these leaves as well in a bit. Well, that's a story for another show. You don't want them to get too overcrowded, but you don't want them to be too thinned out. They need that photosynthesis. But they need to put their energy into the fruits once the fruits start coming on. Something like that. The same with these. I'm just trying to stem these up to grow more vertically. These cucumbers. And we're getting cucumbers on them if you look. There's some starting. Quite low down these though. So I'm going to have to probably lift them up a bit off the ground so they don't get manky. They're not really big ones, these. They grow to about 6 to 8 inches, these ones. But they are supposed to be very tasty and of a burpless variety. So the kids are not going to be burping and what have you after eating them. Better on the indigestion. On the digestion, sorry, not the indigestion. It's hot in here. It's cold and wet this morning, now it's glorious. The English summertime for you, that, guys. Right, Keep growing with your heads down. We love you all. And remember, take care of yourselves and each other. If you're a lady, you've been beautiful, fragrant and fantastic. If you're a gentleman, you've been forthright, virile and masculine. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between. We do love you all, as long as you're a good person. So, yeah. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the winter. I've been Guru Mafinda. This is me leaving Eden and going getting some party treats, some party food for the family for Bradley's 8th birthday. Alright. Take it easy now, boys and girls. Crack on. Bye-bye. Have a good week.